Just then, Binance founder CZ says too much money is spent chasing small, quick gains in crypto. Focus on ethical teams that build for the long term. Big money is built slowly with stamina. And this is what I've been waiting for. Altcoin Pro, our crypto community on X. You can make sure you follow them as well. Altcoin Pro at Altcoin Pro _. We've got rumors that countdown to rate cuts has begun. Markets expect their first cuts around May or June. When they hit, liquidity floods in. Bitcoin won't just rise, it will detonate. So here are the dates coming up in the future: March 19th, May 7th, June 18th, July 30th, etc. And then here are the potential chances of the interest rates coming down to this level here, 425 or 450. We're in that area right now at 4.5. So as we check in right here on our United States interest rate charts over on TradingView, we can see we're currently sitting at 4.5, but they are expected to have a reduction in these. There's a 12% chance that in March, we could be dropping down to 4 or 4.25, and that goes significantly up in the May meeting and also in the June meeting. But in the June meeting, they're starting to get potential moving into the 3.75 and 4% interest rate, which would be absolutely huge. Companies can borrow tons of money. They can start hiring people. They can pay their people better. So we do need interest rates to drop. In fact, there's been a lot of talk about with the Trump administration, the reason that he's continuing to do what he's doing right now in the beginning of the administration. And he's working towards Jerome Powell bending the knee and finally starting to cut rates. So the economy is feeling some short-term pain, but we're looking for the long-term gain. Also, big news here, whales are finally back, and this could indicate that if the trend continues, bullish momentum might soon be triggered, as it has often been in the case in the past. So as we can see right here, money flow coming into the market, money flow starts coming out of the market, bulls coming back into the market, bulls start coming out of the market. And as we can see, this is when prices started hitting those new tops, new all-time highs. But February and the beginning of March has been to the downside. But as you can see right here, it has now peaked above the zero line. And this is getting up into the levels here. So they are accumulating. And this is total whale holdings and monthly percentage change. All right. So we got the purple, which is the big flow area that says 30-day percentage change. It's plus 0.7% percentage change, which is significant. The black line is the price, obviously the Bitcoin price. Total balance, these are the total balance that whales are holding. So you can see right here at the beginning of January is when they started selling off. There was another accumulation phase. And then at the beginning of February, they've been selling off. And now they are starting to accumulate into March. So let's jump into our first major headline for the night. Only 4% of the world's population holds Bitcoin in 2025. Despite the growing popularity of Bitcoin, the number of individuals who actually own it worldwide is minuscule. And this is so great. It's like we've all been talking about. We are front-running, well-won institutions. Those people that were in crypto last year, the year before, many years ago, before even banks and before even governments and before even states were thinking about buying any crypto, Bitcoin, XRP, any of it. You were there probably. You are a genius, and that's why you watch our channel. That's also why you subscribe. Make sure you smash that thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. 4% holds Bitcoin with the highest concentration of ownership in the United States, where an estimated 14% own Bitcoin. According to research report from River, a BTC financial services company, North America remains the continent with the highest adoption rate among individuals and institutions, while Africa is currently the lowest at only 1.6%. Overall, Bitcoin adoption tended to be higher in more developed regions than in developing regions. River estimates that Bitcoin has only achieved 3% of its maximum adoption potential, signaling that the digital currency is still in the early stages of global adoption. So let's talk about adoption. Bitcoin adoption, crypto adoption will be even less. And here are the stages of categories when it comes to getting invested. Innovators. So if you're listening to this, you're part of crypto, you are an innovator worldwide. These are the risk takers. These are the people that adopt the issue first. Okay, that's 10 or that's 2%. Then the early adopters come along, and that's 13.5%. These are opinion leaders who adopt early but cautiously. So they're involved, they're getting rolling. So if you're in these stages before this mass amount of people flood in, another 34% just automatically will come in. That's when you get the hockey stick graph. The early majority, 34%, is the pragmatic folks who adopt once benefits are clear. And then the late majority, when you're already in, you're already collected all your gains, 34% skeptics who adopt after seeing widespread use. And then the laggards, they're just coming in too late because they're going to be forced to use it. Those are traditionalists who resist until absolutely necessary. So let's talk about 3% adoption. Bitcoin in 2025, online banking in 1996, and we know where all that, everyone is online. Social media in 2005, everyone's using social media now, and adoption was extremely crazy. And then, of course, the internet in 1990. So if you're in here during this slow growth, it could be painful, to get to 100,000 in Bitcoin. Some people bought it at $30, $2,000, $15,000, $20,000. Now we're at 100K. Imagine where it's going. That's why when you hear Michael Saylor talking about Bitcoin getting to $1 million per coin, if adoption truly kicks in, then yes, the graph starts to go parabolic to the upside. The financial services company arrived at 3% figure by calculating Bitcoin's total addressable market, which includes governments, corporations, and institutions, at only 1%. Rival also took institutional underallocation and individual ownership rates into account to arrive at the 3% metric. So the reality is it could seriously be under 3 as well. Although Bitcoin, and because you also got to think about a lot of people have multiple wallets. Although Bitcoin has come a long way since its early cypherpunk days, recently becoming a U.S. government reserve asset, several hurdles stand in the way of Bitcoin mass adoption on a global scale. And here are the estimates of percentage worldwide, estimated Bitcoin ownership by country. North America is at 10, South America is at 6, Africa at 1.6, Europe at 3.4, Asia at 3.6, and Oceania at 3.3. But what is stopping the mass adoption? Bitcoin stands at the intersection of technology and finance. Two topics are dense enough on their own, let alone together. The biggest problem facing Bitcoin's mass adoption is a lack of financial and technical education, which fuels misconceptions about Bitcoin, including the idea that it's a scam or a Ponzi scheme. The total value received by country by asset type from July 2022 to 2023, a 2023 report from Chainalysis revealed that stablecoins were the most widely transferred digital asset in Latin American countries. And as you can see, stablecoins are in blue, and here's the graph representing those. For Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, and Venezuela. High volatility disproportionately affects residents in developing economies who have turned to US dollar stablecoins as a digital store of value due to their low transaction fees and relative stability compared to other cryptos. During the recent White House Crypto Summit on March 7th, the United States Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced that the U.S. will use stablecoins to ensure U.S. dollar hegemony and protect its status as the global reserve currency. So remember, as you are going about your daily activities, you are a crypto evangelist. The more you tell people about crypto, the better it is for everyone, because the more adoption comes along, the more liquidity comes in, and everyone wins. All right, now we do have a market analysis here coming out stating that the hourly death cross has formed on XRP. So what's that going to mean? We're going to read over this and we'll look into the charts and see what's going on. And we'll find out those very important support and resistance levels. Also, even though a lot of technicals are starting to show bearish, and we talked about this yesterday and the day before about how all of these lower time frames were extremely bearish and there was potentially more drop coming. The larger time frame of the week is very important, and a new weekly candle has started. If we can build momentum in this weekly candle, all of this right here would be, who cares? Because we will turn back to bullish, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. But there is a death cross on the hourly chart, which many traders deem to be very bearish for momentum. And this pattern occurs when the short-term moving average dips below the long-term moving average and has emerged in the present market uncertainty.